Hi and welcome to my coloring plan video for August 2026. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Ina. If not, welcome back. This month I've decided to color in 8 books and have planned a total of 11 pages because there are 2 double page spreads included. Okay, let's begin. As always, I start with my project books. The first one is Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Joanna Basford. I'm coloring this book from front to back, and the next page is this one with all the flowers. I think they look most like gerberas. I've already thought of a few colors I'll use to color them. Yellow, orange, peach, pink, and white. I'm not entirely sure about the background yet, but I think I'll make it dark, so the flowers really stand out. Probably not black, but more like a dark gray or brown or something like that. Some color I don't use often, so I have a reason to use it now. Otherwise, I'll just try to distribute the colors nicely and make the page really colorful. That's Ivy und der magische Schmetterling or Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Joanna Basford. My next project book is Seasons by Hanna Karlzon. And if you watched my video about the last page I colored in this book, you might remember that I had already kind of planned for this page with the different flowers next to it when I colored that page. That's why I want to color it now. As I already mentioned in that video, I want to color these upper flowers like lilies, orange ones, and the ones at the bottom in more of a purple tone. But I think I'll add a bit of variation too, with some bluish purples and some pinker purples, so they don't all look the same. These 2 flying insects here, I might color a bit like bees or bumblebees. After all, they have a fluffy backside like bumblebees do. That way they will stand out nicely with the yellow against the purple and the background. For the background, I think I keep the colors similar to the other page. However, I plan to start with green tones in the lower area and then gradually move into a peachy pink tone. Okay, that was Seasons by Hanna Karlzon. Another book in which I color 1 page each month is Bulipa by Diane Duour. And here I always color the page for the hashtag Colorful Buls Lovella 2026. But right now I still don't know which page it will be. Okay, then let's move on to the other 2 hashtags I'm participating in. One of them is the fairy tale hashtag from Jordi Colors. And this month's fairy tale is Sleeping Beauty. I didn't want to color a page in Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosanes or Fairy Tale Worlds by Maria Trolle. That's why I decided to color a Sleeping Beauty page in my Disney Princess coloring book. I immediately choose these 2 pages. Sleeping Beauty on the right page and the Evil Fairy on the left page. I would like to connect the 2 a bit because there is I think it's a DVD cover or the poster where the two of them are standing back to back next to each other. The evil fairy has a poisonous green background and Sleeping Beauty has a friendly light blue background. And I like to create something similar here. In this children's Disney coloring book, there are unfortunately never any backgrounds. But I don't want to leave it just white either. So I think this is a good idea and also fairly simple to implement. I just don't know yet what medium to use because the paper is very thin. You can see the other motif on the next page. Soft pastels would be a good option, but I don't think I have quite the colors I imagine. Maybe I can mix the soft pastels on a palette and use it then. Or I probably use watercolors again, like on some other pages in the book. Even though the paper really isn't suitable for them. Then I would try to create a cloud or mist effect. Has anyone ever used a watercolor medium like Schminke Aquagrund in a coloring book with poor paper? Does it work well? If you have any experience with this, feel free to tell me in the comments about it. Otherwise, I would simply color the characters in the classic Disney colors. And maybe I try the sparkle effect on the dress. So that was the Disney Princess book by Book Specials Netherlands. The other hashtag is from Jamie at Finding Joy in Color, the White Year of Color hashtag. And the animal for August is chipmunk. In all my books, I only found 2 pages with chipmunks on them. And they are both in Kingdom of Curious Creatures by Kanoko Igusa. One of them is this Christmas page. But I'm not really in the mood for Christmas right now. I did color a Christmas in July page in July, but I don't need another one in August. That's why I decided on the other page, this double page spread. Because here are also 2 little chipmunks. At first, I wasn't sure whether it was actually a double page spread, because I often seen the right page colored on its own, but not the left one. However, if you look closely at the flying squirrel, you can see that it continues onto the left page. Also, the tree trunk and the flowers here extend onto the other page. So it's definitely a double page spread. The girl here looks to me like Little Red Riding Hood, or at least inspired by her. So I probably color her that way. And there are also lots of other cute animals, like a fox, an owl, birds, deer, and these here are probably martens or something like that. I really like this page. The only thing I don't understand is why these lily of the valley or snowdrop flowers are bigger than the house. Most of the proportions are fine. Well, okay, the marten is as big as the deer, even though it's behind it. But otherwise, the sizes mostly make sense. These bellflowers here are also a bit large, and the beetles compared to the person too. But you could see it as somewhat realistic. The only thing that really doesn't make sense to me are these huge snowdrops, lilies of the valley. But, oh well, I'll just color them and not overthink it. I'm really looking forward to color this page. It will probably very green. For the background, I likely do it in blue-green with watercolors or watercolor pencils. Or maybe even regular colored pencils, since the areas aren't that big. And I think I have to draw in a line here to separate the ground from the sky. Here is the ground, and then this must also be ground. So yeah, I have to draw a line there. I do think I'll definitely base the larger areas like the ground with watercolor pencils. This double page spread will definitely take a long time, which is why I haven't planned too many pages for this month. Okay, that was Kingdom of Curious Creatures by Kanoko Igusa. I have another double page spread planned in A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo. This double page spread with the Aqua Park. It will certainly go a bit faster since it's smaller, but there are still lots of details and various objects. With all the characters, the water slides, the little duck boats, and the donut swim rings, it will definitely be very colorful and really summery and tropical. I think I just make the sky blue, because if I add something like a sunset, it would get too busy, as there are already so much happening in the foreground. So I'll keep the sky blue and the water turquoise blue. I was wondering a little what this thing on the left page is supposed to be. It kind of looks like a rainbow that doesn't continue. And for a part of the swing boat, it's actually too far in the background. Oh, I see. It's the wave. Yeah, it's part of the wave. Okay, so that will also be turquoise blue. Here too, I will probably start by basing everything with watercolor pencils or watercolors. On the one hand, it works better for this paper, since it's otherwise very hard to completely cover the white only with colored pencils. On the other hand, it's good when there's so much going on the page to roughly place the colors with watercolor or watercolor pencils first. That was A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo. Next up is Geheimnisvolle Krafttiere or Mystic Animals by Stratton Peterson. Since it's the year of the horse, I would like to color the page with the horse. I've decided to color the horse like a wild horse. I probably make a yellow sky that gradually shifts to a bluish tone towards the right. The horse then will get a lovely glow from the sun on the mane, the back and the tail. The ground here is grass, which will be green. And then I see how I want to color the flowers. I probably decide that at the end, depending on which colors still fit well. In this book, I really like using water-based glitter markers. I might use them for these dots in the background and maybe for the little flowers in the mane and the tail. That was Mystic Animals by Stratton Peterson. Now I have one last book, which is actually my very first adult coloring book. It's from Deco Time. And I want to color the page with the poppies. Some of the blue has transferred a bit, but that's not a problem at all because I've decided that I would like to color this page completely with acrylic paint. Not with acrylic markers, but really with paint and a brush. In this book, all the pages are different except for this one. Just 2 pages earlier is the exact same motif, only flipped. I colored that one more than 2 years ago with very cheap, poor quality colored pencils. Since I've already colored this illustration before, I thought about how I could color it in a completely different way. And that's why I choose acrylic paint. Compared to last time, I would definitely like to add a background. And to be safe, I should definitely spray the opposite page with some fixative, so it doesn't transfer again later. I'm really curious how this will turn out, because so far I've only painted one background with acrylic paint in June. And otherwise, I've only ever used acrylics on canvas, never in a coloring book. I'm excited to see whether it works well and whether I find it easy or difficult. Okay, those were all my plans for August. If you'd like to see me color any of the pages, feel free to leave a comment, and then I can make a video about it. And if you'd like to do a spontaneous body color, you can also send me a message. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video and that it maybe inspired you to color one of the pages yourself. Bye and see you next time.